Hey guys, David Patrick Green here, hackhollywood.com, hackbollywood.in. As always, I'm just going to please ask you to subscribe to my channel. And listen, guys, if you have any suggestions for videos or you have any questions, or actually, I would just love to hear your general opinion of my content so that I can, feel warm and fuzzy that I'm helping people and I'm not just wasting people's time. Lately, I have been getting some really good feedback, so I do appreciate that tremendously. Okay, let's get on with it. Another game changer video. Today, I'm going to actually commence to create the reply or the mechanism by which you can escape the 5 biggest actor scams. But really what I'm talking about is how to come out of this whole coronavirus thing way ahead of everyone else. And so, first of all, I just want to talk to you about the self-tape, okay? Because one of the things that you probably have noticed during being locked up inside for so long is that a lot of people are working from home. If you can't go out, you have to do stuff from home. We can't all just stay home and do nothing. And so every single industry is going to have to adapt to this to some degree or another. And clearly, we are already heading in that direction, especially if you're a celebrity and somebody really wants you. It doesn't matter where you are on Earth. They're going to just say, hey, Brad Pitt, just put yourself on tape. We want to see you doing this. Is that okay? And then he'll go, no, I'm offer only. But anyway, if you're somewhere in that ballpark of somebody with some name recognition, they don't care if you're on a beach or in a kitchen or sitting on the john in bed. In fact, the auditions for the Stranger Things kids, I think one of them at least was in bed with the flu. So all the stuff you hear from casting directors, they're just lies. They're just stupid lies because you asked them their opinion and they gave it to you. And they are trying to save their skins, right? So they're going to tell you, oh no, you have to come in. You have to come in. I can't judge you and see you properly if you don't come in. But anyway, you need to master the self-tape. And by mastery, I mean practice, practice, practice until you're super, super comfortable doing it. And you should practice with another person, okay? You should have a reader. Although I would say we're also heading in the direction of where you don't have a reader, because if you're just locked up alone because of whatever reason, if you're on a beach somewhere, it's not like you can find another actor. If you're in the Dominican Republic, you can find some Spanish guy, some, Latin American, Dominican actor to read with you. It's not going to work, right? Yeah, you could have a non-actor read with you, which is fine, but at the end of the day, does it really matter that much if you just record your own voice or if you just even do the lines? I mean, honestly, you're probably going to say them more or less the same, whether somebody's reading with you or not, if you really are clear on, what the scenes are about and what the character's purpose is and all that stuff. If it makes sense to you, you're going to do it more or less the same. It's not like they can give you direction. But anyway, so you need to master that skill so you're really comfortable at it. And you need to have some decent equipment. And by decent equipment, I really just mean a decent smartphone. Look, I'm not even using an external microphone, and the sound is really good. This generation that we're at now, the sound quality is excellent. If you feel like you need to be more than a couple of feet or 3 feet from the device, then you might want an external microphone. But honestly, I don't think it's going to be a deal breaker, so long as it's pretty high quality. Decent quality camera phone. Some people say shoot it using the rear camera, but if you can't frame it because you can't see yourself in it, then I'm shooting from a selfie camera right now, and it looks pretty good, despite my face being in the picture. So mastery, 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 which is practice, practice, practice. I'm not talking about going out and buying a bunch of equipment to create a studio. It's not about that. It's about what you can do, not what your background looks like, not what anything sounds like. Those are factors. And regarding the one piece of equipment you just need a bright light on your face. And by bright light, I mean you can take the shade off of a, what do they call those, torchiere, standing lamps, and just make sure it's shining basically at this level. You don't want it above too much and you don't want it below too much because it's going to cast a bunch of shadows in weird places. A head-on light, that's all you need, okay? If you want to go crazy, but that's usually just excuses people use to not actually getting on with stuff. They go, oh, I will go ahead and buy a bunch of stuff. Oh, I can't start practicing yet because I don't have the equipment. forget all that. Just start practicing, okay? Put up camera in front of you on a table. It should be basically at eye height. You know, you can shoot it from this distance if you want, or you really just need this, you know, like that's all you need. And you also need to do a slate. The slate comes first. The slate ideally should be flipped like this. Obviously that's not going to work, I don't think, for the recording. Now I've screwed up my tripod, but you need your slate to show your whole body, okay? And then the recorded scene should be in landscape. So the other way is portrait, this is landscape, in case you didn't know, because it's like a landscape shot. But practice, 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 distance, sound, lighting. If you want to get crazy, you can, you know, you can buy any kind of stand and put a sheet on it, or you can even get into buying, you know, where you have a rack like stands, and you can even buy lights. You can have a stand that you put a backdrop on. You can do green screen if you want, but it's really not going to change anything, because you're lucky if they'll even look at the thing, okay? So, you know, people worry about how perfect it looks. Well, the main thing is to get the thing done. Then they can at least criticize it, because then they might look at it. But as soon as you get those things, you want to be able to get it back to them as soon as possible, because it's very first come, first serve. And the last person may not even get looked at because they've already cast it by the time you submit, with all of your fancy editing and sound and lighting and, you know, la-di-da. And so just practice your little butts off on self-taping. Experiment with it. I'm not going to tell you what to do, okay? Because this is how you become a master at something, is you figure it out. You make the mistakes for yourself. You do what works for you. You make yourself look the way you think you look best. You can ask people their opinions, but just a still camera like this and you're good to go. And don't do a lot. Like, you really don't want to move any more than can be seen like in this space, okay? So that would be my tip, is let the camera find your eyes as much as possible, but don't be scared to turn around, you know, and talk over here. And if there's different people in the room, this is actually a very pro tip, is that once you get to a certain ability, you want to be able to identify different people in the room, okay? So when your wife is talking to you, then, you know, you're looking a little over here, and then somebody comes in, you hear the door slam, you know, you're like that. If you can do those little things, great. Otherwise, I mean, if you don't do those little things, right, they're going to go, hey, wasn't there a cue for a door? But obviously there is no door slam in the audition, so it's not that big of a deal, right? Like, that's the thing. People get these ideas, they read directions, and it says door slams, you know, cat flies by. But that isn't going to happen on the audition tapes, and so it won't look that bad if you don't really respond to these things, unless it looks like it's necessary. And frankly, it is kind of necessary. Otherwise, they wouldn't have written it. It would have been removed by then. But anyway, guys, that's it. Step number 1 is mastery of the self-tape. I will talk to you soon. Let me know what you think.